He's not ever speaking to her like that. Why the fuck is he speaking to her like that? Why is he speaking to her like that? Based on what? That's what people are about. Sheggz. People that Sheggz. He's not ever speaking to her like that. Don't speak to her like that. Don't talk to her like that. This is what you're doing. Please don't want to go to Nigeria. Why are you disrespecting a woman?
Guys, hey God, the drama that happened in the early hours of this morning, oh my days. You know, I've been saying that I want drama, I want violence, but guess what? It's been a back-to-back delivery from the Level Up housemates this week since the merger happened. And guys, hey, in as much as they are draining all my energy, guys, I'm going to be frank with you all, I am loving it. I am loving it because they are giving what the show is supposed to be giving. The show is giving drama, it is giving vibes, it is giving violence, it is giving everything. Yes, however, there are certain narratives that are flying around, and guys, I am not liking it at all, especially with the fight that happens tonight between Chizzy, Sheggz, and Bella over food again. Guys, there's some narratives that are beginning to fly out, and hey, the purpose of this video is to clear the air. I'm going to be giving you guys the details of what actually happened, what caused the fight, Biggie's role in the whole drama, yes, Chizzy's role in the drama, what happened exactly. I'm going to be filling you all with all the juicy tea, yes, and then I'm going to be clearing the air of all of those nasty narratives that I've been seeing online, all right? But before I get into it, I want to first of all remind all of you that, listen, today is Saturday already. Yes, today is Saturday, and you know what happens on this channel. We're going to be having our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream, which we have here every Saturday by 3 p.m. WAT. And please, trust me when I tell you that you totally want to join today's conversation because there's a lot. See, when I tell you that there's a lot to talk about, guys, and frankly speaking, I can't spill all of that juicy tea, all of that juiciness on just one video, all right? So you know that when you come through by 3 p.m., we're going to have enough time to analyze, to dissect, to unpack all the drama. So please make sure you come through. And you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory, and I am the girl with the tea. And the tea of this video is just as I have hinted you at the start of this video. Please make sure you watch to the end. Do not skip any part of this video so that you do not miss out on all the juicy tea. Okay, and if you're new on here, thank you so much for joining, yeah, but please do not forget to do exactly what you see on your screen so that you'll be able to receive a lot of my videos whenever I upload a new one, and so that you will become a part of this amazing family. Now, all of that said, let's quickly get into the gist. So last night's drama, guys, once again, was about food. We know that the level 1 housemates, they have been having this sense of entitlement, right, about food, about rationing of food in the house, especially Sheggz and Bella. And guys, it will interest you to know that yesterday evening, that's before, okay, I think right after the housemates had their wager task, which happened around 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon, Big Brother had actually reprimanded the level 1 housemate over their sense of entitlement in fighting the level 2 housemates over their food supplies. Remember, guys, whilst the level 1 housemates were busy winning the head of house title and gaining immunity, the level 2 housemates, they were busy winning the wagers during the week, thereby, you know, gaining for themselves more food supplies and more money to buy food as much as they wanted. So it has been causing a lot of fights. I mean, it was on Thursday that what's his name now, Sheggz and Hermes had that fallout over food where Sheggz and Bella, they were bragging that they can literally eat whatever they wanted to eat. You know, anybody that wants to come and challenge them should come and challenge them. Food that does not belong to them, ladies and gentlemen. So Biggie had decided to address the matter by reprimanding the level 1 housemate. Now, he had specifically asked them who owned the food in the house, who had been winning the wagers during the past weeks, and of course they had affirmed that it was level 2 housemates. And now Biggie's final words to them about the food matter was that if the level 2 housemates chose or decided to give them food, it's fine. If they chose or decided not to give them food, then they have to stay that way. Guys, one would expect that these level 1 housemates would respect Biggie's instructions, you know, even respect themselves and no longer touch the level 2 housemates' food, because these people literally resorted to hiding the little food that they have, the little supplies that they have, right? Now, They had their arena games last night. Oh, by the way, the first arena games of the season started last night with Deji emerging the winner. So by the time they were done and they had gone back into the house, the level 2 housemates, they had found all the food supplies that they had hidden in their various hiding spots on the dining table. Now, that was Biggie's own way of saying that, listen, I've addressed this issue. There's no need for you guys to continue hiding your food anymore. So everything was on the table right there. Now, the moment these housemates had gotten into the house and they had found the food right there, Hyamis had gone to go and remove 3 pieces of raw eggs. And it was very annoying again to Chizzy because, of course, we know that the likes of Brian, who is a brute licker, is not going to address anybody. Brian is not going to complain about it. Brian was literally there. He was upset, but he could not really channel his anger to anybody. He was just going back and forth, and this time I tried to pick on Phyna to drag Kilishi with her.
Everybody ordered what they wanted. Everybody did private shopping. Even when the Kilishi came, says that nobody asked for Kilishi. Why is it now today that because they've seen it, everybody wants to eat it?
Which was quite ridiculous because the likes of Daniela, the likes of Chizzy, they were right there trying to protect their food supplies, but Brian was going ahead to go and quarrel with Phyna over Kilishi that rightfully belongs to her. So it was just appalling, guys, to be very frank with you. Now, moving back to Chizzy and, you know, the other level 2 housemates. Now, apparently, Hyamis was not the only person that had actually taken eggs from that table. And Daniela was complaining that since they bought 1 crate of eggs, she had not even been able to even eat one because level 1 housemates, they had really, you know, packed the eggs, they had shared it amongst themselves. You know, so it was really annoying. Even Hyamis was not even polite enough to even ask for eggs. It was like, oh, mommy, I want to eat, oh. And I'm like, bruv, you did not win this wager for these people. It is their entitlement. So you're supposed to ask nicely. If they give it to you, it's fine. If they don't give it to you, then it's fine. Now, what Chizzy was actually doing was he was trying to stand his ground because he knew that his fellow level 2 housemates would not be able to man up or even be bold enough, you know, to fight this fight if he does not take that reign of control. Now, Groovy was there, but because Groovy at the time when these food supplies had actually arrived was in the level 1 house, he did not really understand what was going on. So he was just looking lost whilst he was there. So the Brian and what's her name, Phyna's quarrel had gone on and on. Amaka was involved at some point, guys. I need to do an entirely different video about that one to explain in details because it's a lot to talk about, right? But by the time the camera kept on switching back and forth between, you know, the lounge and Phyna explaining what's going on to Groovy and then Amaka also ranting as well, when we now got back to the kitchen, it was a serious blown out altercation between Chizzy and Bella, and then Sheggz was also involved. I mean, of course, we know that there can never be an altercation in that house that involves Bella that will not also involve Sheggz. And so it was a shouting spree. It was a spree of insults. Yes, these 2 people, these 2 parties, they were actually having a go at each other. Chizzy, of course, at some point, I feel like he had actually said all what he wanted to say. So he had gone to the dining and he had sat down and was just watching both Bella and Sheggz. And Sheggz, of course, was ranting, you know, insulting Chizzy that, listen, if not for Big Brother that brought us together, you wouldn't even see my face outside. You know who I am. You know, once again, Sheggz going on and on about status and affluence and all of that. Bella as well was shouting. Now, from what Bella was saying, from what Bella was complaining, she was saying that Chizzy had called her a thief. And then much later, she had said, oh, how can you ask me, are you a thief? So we don't really know what transpired between these 2 people in the kitchen because as at the time the altercation between them started, we were actually in the room with Amaka listening to Amaka's explanation about the whole Brian situation that happened the previous night all over again. In the midst of all the shoutings, in the midst of all the talks, because at this point in time, Chizzy wasn't really saying much anymore, but there was a time when he stood up and he went to go and meet Sheggz and he looked Sheggz in his face, you know, and he was talking to Sheggz like, bruv, there's nothing you can do, right? People have no right to touch our food. And then he had gone back again to the dining area to go and sit down. And so Sheggz was really enraged, and then he was saying a lot of things. And that was where Bella, of course, was heavily insulting Chizzy, to be very honest, guys. Bella was seriously insulting Chizzy. She was calling him all manner of names, even went as far as saying that, okay, I'm going to come and sit in front of you and eat this food, eat your stupid boy, this and that, this and that. And then she now made statements like, oh, with your smelly breath, with your stinking mouth, I couldn't even stand your breath when you came to come and talk to me. What nonsense. And how dare you come close to me like that? She was just saying things.
Why the fuck is he speaking to her like that? Why is he speaking to her like that? Based on what? Based on people like how?
That was where Chizzy had also called her, is it a kute or something? There's a name that actually refers to a dog. Now, you see that one insult from Chizzy, some people carried it on their head and started hawking it on the streets of social media because they started, clamoring for justice for Bella. But we're going to get to that. Now, going back to Sheggz, of course, Sheggz was saying a lot. And then there's this usual narrative that Sheggz always brings when another male housemate is having issues with Bella.
What do you mean by disrespecting?
How can you be disrespecting her like that? How can you be talking to Bella like that? That's a violation. That's the problem with you Nigerian men that are raised in Nigeria. You don't respect women. How can you be talking to women like that? That was now Sheggz's own line of argument, guys. Now, while Sheggz was going on and on about that, I was really disgusted, to be very frank with you all. Because I'm like, this is the guy that has actually had an altercation with Doyin, and he had outrightly blasted Doyin, insulted her, called her names, even called her foolish. This is the same guy that had actually been blasting Rachel. That same moment, he was having issues with Phyna, and he had actually been blasting Phyna as well. Now, this is the same guy that has actually had more altercations with women on the show than men. And for most of the time, for every time he has an altercation with the ladies on the show, he goes all out. He goes all out. He goes as far as insulting them, comparing them to Bella, talking about how they are not even up to the standard of the kind of girls he meets or dates with outside. He says a lot. So every time Bella has an issue with a male housemate, and it comes from that angle of, oh, this is a violation. This is a violation. Like he's always trying to form female, is it female apologists, or what do they call them? I think they call them giandrists, right? All those men that are feminists as well. Guys, I just sit back and I have a good laugh because I'm like, Sheggz, you are not a saint, actually. You are not a saint. When you have issues with females, you literally go all out. You insult these women. Don't you think you are also violating these women verbally? Don't you think you're also part of the Nigerian men that have a poor education, that have a poor exposure about how to talk to women, about how to address women? So why is it that when it comes to Bella, you think that she's the only one that needs to be protected, like she's the only female that needs to be protected? During that altercation, Bella insulted Chizzy the most. She said a lot, even going as far as saying that his mouth stinks, that his mouth is smelling, he has a bad breath, blah, blah, blah. Sheggz, combined with Bella's insults, also said a lot to Chizzy. So when Sheggz now came with that narrative of how can you be speaking to her like that? How can you be disrespecting her like that? That's a violation. That's a provocation. Guys, I was over here, I'm like, does this guy think that us, the viewers, were actually dumb? From all what Sheggz is saying, does it mean that it's okay for a woman to insult a man in a shouting spree? Like it's okay, the woman is the only one that has that monopoly of madness to go all out and insult the man. So the man should not say anything at all, because if he says anything, it's a violation. I'm like, seriously? So the guy himself, his feelings are not valid. The guy too does not have emotions running through his veins. He does not have feelings at all. So to be a proper man, he should keep quiet and be looking at the woman and allow the woman say all whatever she wants to say and wash him out. Because guys, to be very frank with you, that was even partially what happened. At some point, Chizzy was quiet and was looking at Bella and Sheggz. And both of them, they sat in front of him at that dining table and they kept on insulting him over and over and over and over and over again. So guys, who who's actually moving mad here? Because I don't understand what Sheggz was actually ranting about. Now, this is the fun part of it all. So, because Bella had insulted Chizzy, that he had a smelly mouth, he had a smelly breath, and she couldn't stand his breath when he was talking to her. She actually said it in a very, very demeaning way and in a very malicious way because it was still in the heat of the argument. Chizzy had actually looked at her and told her that, you know what they call ekute, that you look like that. Bella now started singing the narrative of, oh, look at him, you even body shamed me.
But shaming you, because you don't understand things like that. School is very important, it's not about anything, but it's very important.
Yeah, saying, so now we understand what body shaming is. So I was now wondering, like, okay, fine, here we go again. You just body shamed someone by insulting the person about their breath on national television, not just international TV. I mean, people from all over Africa, all over the world, they are watching this show, and you go ahead to say that somebody's son has a stinky mouth, somebody's son has a bad breath. But then he looks at you back and he says that you look like a particular breed of dog. And now you are crying foul that he body shamed you. Anyways, guys, as I mentioned, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. At some point, I was really vexed that Chizzy went quiet. He went mute. And I was wondering what was running through his mind, because whilst Bella and Sheggz, they kept on talking, Doyin on the side. Guys, for tomorrow's live stream, we're going to talk about Doyin at length, okay? So please come prepared. Doyin was on the side and she was pacifying Sheggz and Bella, and she was supporting these people outright, and I'm like, wow, Doyin, is this how bad it is? Now you're very, very lonely. Now you don't have Alison by your side anymore 100%. So now you're desperately in need of an alliance. You're desperately in need of friendship, to the point that the same Bella that dragged you and rubbished your name, your personality, your identity, everything about you in the house upstairs, you are now fighting a battle for her. You cannot even actually tell her where she went wrong. Like, seriously, Doyin. Anyways, guys, it's not even about Doyin. But for me, it was about the fact that Chizzy went mute. I was really upset because I felt like, nah, Chizzy, these people that are in front of you, they are chatting rubbish. Why can't you just reciprocate that energy? But then I had a second thought that maybe, just maybe, Chizzy is thinking of a second comeback. You know, that second powerful comeback. You know, like right now, he has set fire, you know, in their heads. He has upset them. And you know, the beauty about this whole thing is that Chizzy is a fake housemate. So he can literally do whatever, violate any of Biggie's rules, right? And whether they give him a strike or not in the presence of the housemates, us and Big Brother and Chizzy, we know that it's inconsequential, right? So he has at his disposal anything and everything to use in causing trouble in that house. So I just had to just chill. I said, Bbnaija, don't worry. Chizzy is preparing a powerful comeback, and I'm here for it. Ladies and gentlemen, for those people that are already shouting on social media, oh, Chizzy body shamed Bella, please zip it. It was a mutual insult. Bella insulted Chizzy. Chizzy insulted Bella as well. For those of you saying that, oh, Sheggz is right, blah, 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 Chizzy disrespected Bella, please, it was mutual. They both disrespected each other. Both individuals' feelings are valid. It is not only the female gender's feelings that are valid. Please, let's not be too extreme about all of these ideologies that we don't even really understand. Let's be fair. Let's be fair and square in all of our judgments. And this is where I'm going to end this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. I'm going to be dropping another video giving you all the details of the other dramas that was happening, you know, in the house. Because it wasn't only the Chizzy and Bella's and Sheggz, you know, buhaha that actually happened. There was actually a lot happening on the side. I'm going to be dropping another video to talk about it. And then during the live stream that we'll be having by 3 p.m. WAT, we will now elaborate on the many things that I've not been able to touch upon this week. All right, now all of that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the whole drama that I have explained on this video, and I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing day.